Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. Good morning, everybody. Over here, forgot that I needed to actually look toward the microphone to start recording. Here we go. All right. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to the ride on the way to school. I hope you had a good night's rest. We get late start on Wednesdays in our secondary, so me and the boys are taking full advantage of that this morning. So that's why you're getting this one a little later in the morning, but that's okay. I got a fresh pot of coffee brewing from Costa Rica from one of our summer travels. So it's always good to get a little reminder of somewhere you've been when you can get a little glimpse of a little sample of another culture or cuisine. So hopefully you all have something tasty warming you up this morning. Today's chat, I want to talk about just kind of the administrative kind of impact that being in these positions can take on you. So I guess the umbrella theme for this chat would be personal sacrifice. And of course, I've got a couple things that come to mind about that. And, when you think about just your journey as a leader or an educator, very rarely do people slow down, or actually I can just speak from the eye. Very rarely do I slow down and remember what 10 years ago was like or what 20 years ago was like. And when I do, it's just fascinating how, in those times, how simpler things were and just the different ways I used to fill time. I think now that there are so many things going on, I literally have like a 30 point to-do list that I usually knock 8 things off and then I add other things. But it's just interesting how productivity can change over time. But personal sacrifice. So there's one thing that I think all partners and families and spouses could say about a leader at any level, but especially in schools, the constant availability of the work. You've got to be able to be responsive to actual things that are crises and challenges, but you also have to be available when people need you to draw on your thought partnership and your collaboration. And if you're able to kind of set up good boundaries, that's great. And there are some times where you realize the best practices of boundaries aren't particularly going to be useful in some instances. So you've got to be able to be available, but sometimes that constant availability comes at the sacrifice of the family you go home to or the life that you are really trying to fulfill. So you want to be mindful of that and try to set milestones on how you can get better at being in more control of your time, because that constant availability can be challenging for your family, but also for you. Another thing, would be good to think about is that sometimes the sacrifice comes, at the sake of your own identity formation. So we are more than the work we do, but although the work we do can be fulfilling, you are allowed to be more than that. So if you find yourself sacrificing your own identity because your work, your title is so identity shaping, you might want to check in and make sure, like, okay, I need to be able to have some perspective here and, make sure that the only thing I'm known for talking about, being about, is this title and this role at this place. You want to be able to have the full human experience, and it's okay to love what you do. It is absolutely okay. In fact, you should love what you do. But if it's identity shaping into the fact that you can't see yourself outside of this role at this place, it can be damaging to your own personal growth and fulfillment. Okay. Because what happens when that job comes to an end or something occurs where you have to transition, that means your identity will be in a form of crisis. Okay. And the last one is probably the easiest one, just health and hobby. What is the sacrifice to your health, to the hobbies and the things that you find enjoyable? As I'm wrapping up this doctoral program and, of course, working, my wife made a joke. She was like, so you're going to be able to read. when you're done. I was like, oh man, you're right. I haven't really had a chance to just enjoy reading without needing to be productive in the reading. So I want to make sure a hobby returns at a healthy pace. But hey, trust me, I'm enjoying life, but also health. You know, it's the sedentary lifestyle. It's the 3 or 4 cups of coffee. And, you know, for me, the Welch's fruit snacks on my desk. So, you know, we can all get better. So, but think about, what are the personal sacrifices that you want to try to manage, you know, as you close out the year? You know, is it the constant availability? Is it the identity shaping, or is it health and hobby? So just a couple things to think about on the way to school. And if you've got more to add, hey, please let me know. All right. Take care, folks. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.